Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for watching our live webinar today. And I trust that everybody is all right. They're doing well. It's obviously been quite a number of weeks that we've now been facing lockdown. And I see that we do have a number of people watching at the moment, so please feel free to introduce yourself on the stream. Just let me know who's here. If you do have questions, whether it be related to this or another topic that we are chatting about, please feel free to ask away and I'll get to it as I can. The purpose of today's stream is twofold. So the first reason is obviously just to chat a little bit about the future of appointments during and post lockdown, how that affects you and your business, and how you can use the power of online bookings in a world that has overnight really started to adopt online where previously they may have not wanted to or been a little bit reluctant to do so. So we're seeing some great success stories of businesses and people that are implementing this, that are making use of tools that are at their disposal to generate a little bit of revenue and basically to adjust their business model to what has become of our world. If you think about how things have been over the last couple of weeks, you have no doubt been able to communicate a little bit with your customers to gauge what their needs are. As you can see, I am in dire need of a haircut. I look like a street youth from the Breakfast Club, so forgive my appearance, but as you can see, we are all in the same boat here and we are all obviously struggling. So what the second reason that, the second item rather that we're going to be chatting about today is a brand new feature that we have launched. You wouldn't have seen it appear over the weekend. You may have seen it this morning in your dashboard in your SalonBridge console. And we did obviously included the title of this, and that is events and classes. So I'll give you a brief rundown of what that is. An event or a class is essentially the same thing. I'll get into the differentiation as we go into it and I'll show you how it works. But if you are somebody that sees multiple people at the same time, a class is obviously a fantastic way in which to manage your bookings that way. If you're somebody that wants to offer webinars or Zoom conference calls, or if you want to reach a wide audience that allows you to share your skills, you're able to do this using events or classes from SalonBridge. We give you a bookings page specifically for that event or class, and that will allow people to be able to browse that class or event, make a booking, get sent all of the joining information for that class, whether it be an in-person event or class or whether it be a virtual one. They get sent all of that joining information automatically. The payments get done immediately, and you are able to view a list of your attendees from within SalonBridge. So moving forward in a world that is becoming more and more virtual for your customers especially, we see this as a great way to be able to adjust some of your service offerings and potentially start to look at ways in which you can share your knowledge and your expertise in a way that you would never have done so before. So if we look at how things were prior to this, you may have been in a situation where you were not really embracing the online side of it too much, which is perfectly acceptable. I think a very vast majority of us were. Your interaction with your customers would have typically been face-to-face, in person. You would have shared knowledge that way. You may have interacted with them at networking events or social events. And this essentially gives you a way in which to share your expertise, to engage with your audience in a virtual world, and obviously get paid for your time and your skill set, which is really important. So the first thing I'm going to chat about today is the ability to offer virtual consultations online. I'm just going to show you very quickly how to do that. Then I'm going to get into the events and classes because that is quite in depth. It touches a number of areas within the console. So I will show you how that works. The first thing I want to do is I want you to imagine yourself as offering a virtual consultation or something that you're going to start to do moving forward. Imagine that you are, if you close your eyes and you picture what type of business you do, are you able to do this in a virtual way? Or are you able to market your expertise or your knowledge base or your skill set in a virtual way. If my hairdresser did a virtual class on how to cut hair, I would pay for that because it's getting to that point where I'm going to be doing it myself pretty soon, and that's going to be interesting. So try and think of ways in which you can offer virtual consultations. I know that there are a number of salons and spas doing virtual skin consultations, and then from that, they're upselling their customers on retail sales, which is really quite an interesting way, and sometimes it's a required way for certain products in which to sell your retail products, but then also just to turn that customer into someone that you can engage with for future appointments. For you become that trusted source of knowledge, and it just shows them that you don't have to be there face to face in order to help them and to share your the years of experience that you've generated. So I'm going to share my screen with you quickly, and then I'll get right into it. So this is the SalonBridge dashboard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my business, and then I'm going to scroll down to the integrations section. So the first step of this is to, obviously, in order to facilitate a virtual consultation, you are able to do this without having any of the integration stuff set up. You can offer your customers the ability to do this booking online, and it will work automatically. However, if you're wanting your customer to pay for this in advance, you are required to enable an online credit card processing gateway. And the options here are PayFast and Yoko online payments. We touched on this in a previous webinar, so if you do have specific questions about this, take a look at our knowledge base or go watch one of the previous webinars where I discussed the difference between the two and how you can set this up basically for free right now without needing to do anything. So I've got Yoko online payments enabled, but again, if you're with PayFast, that's perfectly okay. You would just enable it over here, and then your customers would pay via your PayFast account. So now that I've got this enabled, I have the ability to go to my online booking section, and I have the option now to charge a secure deposit for bookings. So if I go here, I can see that this is my bookings page. If I click on this, it's going to open up my online bookings page where a customer would typically come and book an appointment with me. This may be embedded in your website already, or it may be redirecting to this page. That's perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to say enable require a secure deposit. And I'm going to make the secure deposit 100% because I want my customers to pay the full amount upfront. The purpose of a virtual consultation is not to have the customer pay at the point of consultation or afterwards. Ideally, you want this done before they actually make the booking. It holds them to that appointment. It helps to ensure no-shows. But if you're more comfortable charging a 50% deposit, you can do that as well. But bearing in mind that because the customer is not right in front of you, getting the money from that customer after the virtual consultation is done may be slightly more difficult. Moving forward, if you are at the point of seeing customers, whether when we get to a point where we're able to start seeing customers again, whether that entails you going to see them or them coming to see you in a controlled environment, this is actually quite a nice option already because a lot of customers are going to be a little bit reluctant about seeing you. They might be a little bit reluctant about touching your card machine, or about dealing with cash, just in terms of the touching of items as they interact with you. So this is a great way to let customers pay for their booking upfront completely. They can come and see you, or you can go and see them, and they don't even have to worry about giving you cash, handling the change, touching your card machine that somebody else may have touched. And it's really not about your sanitation levels. It's really about making the customer feel comfortable. They all know that you are exceptionally hygienic and you put a lot of emphasis into keeping your equipment clean and sterile. But again, it's just that one extra peace of mind for them to say, I know that when I book with this person, I'm not going to have to touch a card machine that the next door neighbor touched or whatever. Really just a mindset thing moving forward. And it's something we all have to adjust to. So I'm going to enable this and I'm going to say save. Now that that's been saved, I'm going to go to my services and I want to create a new, I've got a category here called consultations already, and I see there's a virtual consultation. If I click on this, I can see that it is not currently showing online. So I'm going to just enable the show online tick box. I'm happy with the price. I'm happy with the description and all of that. So I'm just going to hit save. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go to each of these and I'm going to just turn them off for the meantime. And the reason I'm doing this is because I only want the customer to see the virtual consultation when they book. Just in the meantime, until I can start seeing them again, then I'll start opening those up as well. If I go back to my online bookings page and I refresh this, I can see now that the same Book Now button appears. But if I click on Book Now, the virtual consultation is the only one that I see. So the customer would come here, they'd click on this, this is what they'd see, they would select it for 950 Rand, and they would go through the booking process. They can again choose your name or whoever offers this as a virtual consultation, and they can choose a day and time that you are available. Again, this is all configurable. You can change your working hours based on what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to limit these hours during lockdown to specific days and hours, you can do so from within your console as well. I'm going to click on next, and I'm just going to put in my details. And I'm going to put in my email address. And I'm going to click on next. And it's going to now ask me to make that payment. So when I click pay and book, it's going to initiate the Yoco online payments window where it's going to ask me for my credit card information. So this is what a customer would see. I'm just going to put in the testing details here. And let's see if the Yoco testing details work. So I'm going to hit pay. Obviously in a real, if this were an actual transaction, it may ask me for my 3D secure information. But this just shows you that the booking is now complete and it's been made. So when this is done, the customer has now made that appointment. It'll appear on their accounts and you get the payment immediately. So you don't have to worry about them not paying or not rocking up or having to worry about an EFT payment later on. It's done. And the customer didn't have to pick up the phone. They didn't have to, schedule some kind of arrangement. And this gives you the opportunity to now start engaging with your customers one-to-one, moving forward into lockdown. The next thing I wanted to show you was the newest feature that we have, which is called events and classes. So this is found under the My Business section, and you can find it under a menu option now called events/classes. And I mentioned that we would get into the differentiation between events and classes now. And really, there is absolutely no difference. We started off this project as wanting to launch something called classes, where you could host multiple people at the same time. What it ultimately then changed into was knowing that maybe you want to, when the lockdown is finished, you want to have a launch party, for example, where people actually come to you, or a champagne evening, or you want to do an event that isn't necessarily associated to the word class. When people think of class, they think of a training session or some kind of learning environment, which is perfectly fine. But you may want to set up something that many people can book for at the same time that isn't necessarily associated to the word class, in which case you would then create an event. So I'm going to go and create a class or an event, if you prefer that wording, by clicking on the Add Event Class button. And it's going to ask me for an image, and it's going to ask me whether this is an event or a class. So I'm going to upload an image here. What we have done is we have provided in our knowledge base the dimensions for this image. And ideally, this should be around 1,600 pixels by 512 pixels. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a event bookings page for your customers that you can share on your social media accounts. It's going to be slightly separate from the online bookings process that you may be used to, but that feels and that fits the model of an event or a class much better than having them go to your online bookings page and presenting maybe a slightly cramped experience. The purpose of an event or a class is that many people share your event or class. You can host it to 100 people or more. And really, the idea is to wow them with a really nice, stunning visual. So what we do on the bookings page for this is we create a full width header with your image. And if you need help with that, give us a shout. We'll help you with how you can actually create that image, but I'll show you what it looks like now. So I'm going to create a class, and I'm going to call it the SalonBridge training seminar. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell seminar. SalonBridge training seminar. And the description is where you would have information about this class or event for your customers. So things that they might be able to expect. You are able to put HTML text in here and it will respond accordingly. So if you want to put in links, you're welcome to do so. I've just got a whole lot of dummy text that I'm going to paste in here. That means absolutely nothing, but you get the idea. Let's just create a space there for another paragraph. And I'm going to say that this class is going to cost, I'm going to say 1,500 Rand. And the size is the number of people that can attend. So I'm going to make this, let's say I want 50 people. I'm going to limit it to 50 people at a time. And the staff member is the person who's actually going to be doing the class or the event or hosting it, whether it be virtual or in person. And if it's an in-person one, then obviously that'll be the trainer or whoever's actually hosting the event. And this will basically come down to commission purposes later on, so that you're able to see that this staff member gave a class for this many people and should therefore be remunerated in a certain way. The date and time is when the event is actually going to take place. So I'm going to have this take place on Friday at, let's say, 10 a.m. And this is going to be a 2-hour event. So yeah, I can specify the duration and the date and time. The location is going to be online. So I'm going to say that this is an online event. People need to join via Zoom or via Google Hangouts. And the reason that we ask for this information is so that when somebody actually books this with you and pays for it, they get sent the joining information automatically. So it's one less thing that you have to worry about. The last thing that you want is now to say, cool guys, look, I'm having a class, I'm having an event. Please WhatsApp me if you're interested, and then I'll send you all the information via email, and then you need to send me the proof of payment, and then once I've received that proof of payment, I'll send you the joining information. That is a tedious process, and I cringe at the thought of having to manage that for 50, 100, 200 people. So this automates that entire process for you. It doesn't replace things like Zoom or Google Hangouts or whatever, Skype, any tools that you want to use. This is just a mechanism to let customers book, pay, and get sent all of that information at once. So I'm going to say that the joining link here is https zoom.us/event/12345. And this would obviously be the link that you create or that gets provided to you when you set this link up. I'm going to say that the password is password 12345, so that when they click on this link, they may be required to join with a password or not. And I'm going to say show online. The nature of events and classes means that this should always be ticked. You should always say that it is show online. If you don't want your customers to book online and you prefer to add them manually, that's perfectly fine as well. It just takes away some of that automation that really make this product or this feature quite special. So now that I've added all of this information, I'm going to say add event/class. It's going to upload that image for me, it's going to save the event for me, and it's going to take me back to the events/classes page where I can now see the class that I've created. I can see that the capacity is 50 people or 50 packs, the date and time, it's online, the price, and how many people are actually part of this class so far. I can see that it's still upcoming, meaning that it hasn't happened yet. If you create a class and the date passes, this will just show as expired or already happened. When you create a class, we create a special type of closeout for you in your calendar so that you know not to be able to book there and customers won't be able to book online either. So regular closeouts are in red. This one shows in purple. You can see it's class, SalonBridge training seminar, and it's from 10 to 12 o'clock for Mark. This allows you, whoever's managing appointments, to know immediately that they've got a class during that time. Going back to the events and classes page, I mentioned earlier that we provide you with a bookings page or an events or classes page that customers can go and actually book with you on. And the way that you get that is by clicking on this little options icon to the right-hand side of the event or class, and you can say view or add attendees, and this is the manual way of doing it, or you can say share. And by share, it gives you a link that your customers can go to. You can share this on social media, you can share this via WhatsApp, you can share this via email. It's really up to you, but this is the class page that a customer will get. And this is what it will look like for a customer. So here you can see it's really, it really highlights the image that we upload. So this is why I mentioned we need something that's really quite wide, so that a customer, the moment they come to this page, they can see exactly what it's for, they can see exactly what it's like, and you can upload any image you like over here. But just bearing in mind that it's designed to be a full width image. So anything you upload may or may not look the same as what it does over here. Here you can see the information for it, the heading and the details that I've now provided. And I can see the details that I have for this class, the date and time, how much it's going to cost, the duration, the location. Again, this is online, so it says that I'll be sent joining details once I have registered. And I have the option of sharing this as a customer as well. So if I want to share this with all of my friends on social media, I can do so, and they then also have the ability to join as well. Going through the booking process, I'm going to click on Book Now. And it's going to ask me for my information. So I'm going to put in someone else's details. Yeah, I'm going to say Mark. Put in my details actually. Let's put in 785066651. But I'm going to put in an email address to show you what a customer would actually get when they do this. So here you can see SalonBridge Tester. The notes that they want to basically put. It's optional, but if they want to say something to you about the class, something along the lines of, cannot wait for this class, excited. And I'm going to say continue to payment. And because I've enabled Yoco Online Payments or PayFast, this now asks me to click on Pay Now and make that payment of 1,500 Rand. And when that does that, you get sent the money and it will basically send me, the customer, all of that joining information automatically. So I'm going to pay for this class quickly. 25 and 123 and say pay. So now what's happening in the background is Yoco is busy processing my credit card. When they have finished doing that, they let us know that the payment has been successful, and the customer gets sent a success message over here, letting them know that the booking was successful. They will then get sent a confirmation email, here it is, saying your class booking. It'll include an image of what the class is. It'll let them know that it's been booked, and here you can see it gives them the joining information. So on the 22nd of May at 10 a.m., they can now click on this link, join with that password, and they can now be a part of your class or your event automatically. They also get sent a payment receipt, just letting them know that their payment has been successful so that they can trace that back if need be. If I go back to the actual console over here and I just refresh this events or classes page, I can see that the size has now changed to 1 out of 50. And if I go and view the attendees, I can see that this customer has now been added as an attendee. So that is how classes work. It is super, super easy. If you are wanting to share your knowledge or host training sessions or classes to a wide audience, whether you want to pay for it or whether you want it to be free, you can do that as well. If you are a gym instructor, if you're a yoga teacher, if you offer Pilates and you want to create classes that customers pay for and get sent joining information automatically, this is the tool for you. It really does work quite nicely. It's completely automated. And anything that you do, the customer will basically get notified of that change as well. So yeah, you can see it's automatically updated, and that can be shared with any of their social media clients as well. Super, super simple. This does appear in your daily cash up as well. So if I were to run a cash up report for Friday the 22nd of May, I would see this class as a line item there. It will also appear in some of its own reporting moving forward. And as we progress and this product or this feature grows, we will start to enhance it further. So things like adding custom commission structures for classes or events are all going to start coming into play pretty soon. So Let me know what you guys think of this. I hope that it offers some kind of value to you. If you are wanting to find out a little bit more about it, take a look at our knowledge base. I'll go there now and just show you what it looks like. Let's do screen capture again, and help. SalonBridge. And if I scroll down to events and classes, there's an entire section on it just giving you a little bit of information about how classes and events actually work, how you can create new classes, how you can delete classes, how you can share your event or class, and how you can manually add attendees as well if you like. So again, if you do have any questions, reach out to us or take a look at this. I really hope that this webinar was insightful. I'm really excited to have launched the events and classes feature. It's something that's obviously been coming for quite a while, but we wanted to give it quite a bit of thought and really try and make it as nice as possible for you guys. If you've got questions about how to do this, why you might want to do this, ideas for your own business, or how to create an image of the dimension that's going to look perfect for your event, reach out to us via live chat, email, phone, and we'll be more than happy to help. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed showing you this, and have a fantastic day further.